microphone. Celebrate, celebrate, dance to the music. One of the most spectacular celebrations I've ever experienced was a trip to Germany. The reason? My wife was turning so many years old, and we were going back to Germany to pursue her heritage. I guess every story should start with the beginning. About 15 years ago, I really got into genealogy, tracing my family roots. And I had done my side, which was Irish and Scottish and English, a little bit Irish, but Jenny was Irish and German. And we had been to Ireland, and we decided, let's go to Germany. But she said, wait a minute, I don't know anybody past my grandparents. Well, I did some research, and I found her great-grandparents, great-great, and great-great-great engraved 6 miles from here in Allentown. Cemetery called Union Cemetery at 10th and Chew. Now, Jenny has a very unusual maiden name. It's Bankhard, B-A-N-K-H-A-R-D. Well, some of the relatives in that cemetery ended H-A-R-D, some H-A-R-T, and some H-A-R-D-T. So I realized in Germany it was D-T. Well, with the help of Ancestry.com and Family Search, I was able to trace this Bankart line back to this little tiny town in Germany, 1607. Let's go over and spend a week in the town. So we flew over to Germany, got a rental car, drove down to the thriving metropolis of Ungstein, 400 people. And we spent the days going to, it was in the vineyards, and we went to vineyards and churches. And well, the one church in town had a cornerstone 1615. I said, Jenny, your family would have worshiped here. They would have been baptized here. Well, outside of that church, there was a monument to people that had lost their lives in World War II. There were 4 Bankarts. I said, Jenny, the Americans could have killed them. Well, up the road, there was a cemetery, and we started walking through the cemetery, and lo and behold, we started seeing recent Bankarts. And one of them, Ludwig, had passed away 2 years earlier at the age of 80. So there was an old lady putting some flowers on a grave, and I went over and I said, do you speak English? And she, no. So, and I pointed to the grave, I said, Bankart. She went, Ludwig Bankart. She knew him. I said, well, this is my wife, Fräulein Bankart from America. And she understood what I was saying, and she got all excited, and she started pointing toward the village and speaking in German. What we gathered was Ludwig's wife is still alive. Now, I don't know any German except for the word for where is wo. I said, wo, Frau Bankart. She dropped to the ground and drew a map in the dust. We went down, we found the house. Now, I wanted to knock on the door. Well, Jenny's going, you can't do that. You know, she won't speak English, and her kitchen will be dirty, and, men are from Mars, I don't know. So I said, all right, we'll go back to that vineyard where we had bought some wine. There was a young girl that spoke English, and we explained the dilemma. She said, well, their son works in our company, but he's traveling right now, but I'll leave a message on his machine, I'll leave your number. Well, the next day, our little B&B received a phone call, and he was so excited. He said, I can't get back to see you, but you have to go and visit my mother. I'll call her, we'll set up an appointment for 2 o'clock the next day. So we bought a bouquet of flowers, and I just figured we'd knock on the door and wave in here. She invites us in, speaks no English. She had the table all set up for us. She had called her daughter, who came an hour and a half away from Heidelberg. She spoke some English, and she had invited her son-in-law, Martin, who spoke English pretty well, to spend some time with us. We spent 3 hours with these people. I showed them the family tree, and they had never traced the roots back as far as I. And they started pulling the family Bibles down, and oh, there's Andreas, and there's Jacob. At the end of the 3 hours, I turned to Martin, and I said, Martin, I want to say this slowly, and you translate. I'd like to see their reaction. I said, 3 hours ago, we were total strangers. And what we have done is focus totally on our commonalities rather than our differences. And right now there's so much love and fellowship in this room that if the world could peek in and use this as a model, it'd be a nicer place to live. As he translated, Mrs. Bankart, the old lady, started to cry, and she stood and she spoke in German, and she came over and gave me this big buxom hug. What she was saying was, Ludwig, when I woke up this morning, I knew this would be a special day. You died 2 years ago today. And you're probably up there with a German beer in your hand, clinking glasses with Jenny's dad, looking down at us and saying, the Bankarts are finally together down there. It's time to celebrate.